There's a place in this world where everything is quiet, which is good because your eyes are going to be doing all the work from the intense visuals. A place forged by eons of glacial erosion and sharp-cutting winds. There are no natural trees, just grass, stone, water, and moss. It's a country within a country made up of people with a unique preserved culture that makes them sort of like some of the last true Vikings. These small 18 islands in the North Atlantic have one of the biggest stories in the Western Hemisphere, and now I get to share it with you.
This is the Faroe Islands.
Let's go!
This is the Faroe Islands. Do you know anything about it? Maybe, maybe not. But let's learn a little bit, shall we?
So, we got a new adventure with a new destination, and this time we go to the North Atlantic. Why? Because one of my best friends, Gus, has Faroese heritage. He kept inviting me, and I finally said yes. So let's do this. So first of all, where are the Faroe Islands? Well, they are a group of islands just roughly halfway between Iceland and Norway, just north of Scotland. There are 18 main islands, and a ton of smaller rocks and islets off the coasts. The capital is Tórshavn, located in Streymoy Island, where about half of the entire population lives. As you can see, the islands have a very distinct vertically sliced shape, creating deep, narrow inlets and fjords, meaning that no matter where you are on the Faroe Islands, you are never more than 5 kilometers or 3 miles away from the ocean. Originally, Celtic peoples inhabited these islands around the 6th century, and then later Norsemen settled around the 9th century. From there, it fell under various iterations of usually Norwegian and Danish realms, until it finally became a constituent country under the Danish kingdom. In fact, in the Church of Sandvogr, they have one of the very few runic stones that were discovered in the Faroe Islands.
But it's one of the only sources we have with, how do you say,
Runes, yeah.
Yeah, and it says the name of a man, Thorstein Onundarsson, who was Austmaður, which means he was from East, and he built this place first, which is what it says.
In runes.
Yeah.
They read it, and it was found here in the Faroe Islands?
Yeah.
Ah.
So one thing about the Faroe Islands, okay, it's administratively a little strange, okay? They have their own parliament, they have their own prime minister. They kind of rule themselves autonomously, even though they are under the, sovereignty of Denmark. And here's the other thing, they're not part of the EU. They're not even Schengen, which means they don't have to follow EU policy. So you can open the bottle caps and it's not connected. Only people in the Nordic League are allowed to live and work in the Faroe Islands indefinitely. Otherwise, EU citizens, everybody else, 90-day maximum. This is Tórshavn, capital of the Faroe Islands, and if you look around behind me, that's what the city looks like. It's a nice quaint city on a hillside. Not a lot of tall buildings, but one thing you do notice are these really cool turf houses. They got grass everywhere you go in this country. You'll see grass on top of the roofs. It's supposed to be for like insulation and stuff like that. This is one of the rainiest places on Earth. Right across the bay, you can see an island. Gus, what island is that? Nilsoy Island, and right here is the battery where they had the cannons, because the British put this here because they're trying to sink the German ships and blah blah blah. Is that right, Gus?
Yeah.
Yeah, World War II Germans are coming. And then you have the famous lighthouse. Everything you need. So the Faroe Islands is interesting because they're an autonomous constituent country within the Kingdom of Denmark. So that means they can also use their own currency. They have their own banknotes as well. But all the coins that they use are Danish coins. So it's kind of like two separate systems. But legally, you can use this in Denmark. It's just if you go down the street and use this, people are going to look at you funny. They're like, never even seen that, but what is this? But you can legally use this in Denmark.
Little side note, across Tórshavn and many other major towns and villages across the Faroe Islands, you'll notice that there are trees. They look nice, but keep in mind, none of them are native to the islands, and all of them were brought in from the mainland.
Yeah, so in Faroe Islands you can have 4 types of weather in 10 minutes. It changes so incredibly fast, so you always have to be prepared. Right now we're actually not prepared at all.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Also, I just want to say on my own accord, homes in the Faroe Islands are the absolute epitome of coziness, or hygge, or hugna, as the Faroese say. Just be mindful though, for some weird reason, the light fixtures are always hung really low in these houses. I don't know why, it's just a thing. I'm from LA, which is a complete cacophony of helicopters, sirens, people blasting music on the streets, screams, yells, and threats. Sitting in these homes not only offers a reprieve from the complete and utter chaos of the world, but you can almost feel your blood pressure lowering just by sitting in the calm silence. It's like there's nowhere else on Earth better to just sit down and read a book than here. Which is great because it offers a perfect atmosphere for their growing demographic. Children. The Faroe Islands today has one of the highest birth rates in all of Europe, and everywhere you go you'll see them running around and playing in parks and facilities. It's not uncommon to see families with 3 or more kids. Despite having a small population, the country operates heavily off of communal values, many of which are rooted in religion and faith, and don't be surprised if everybody kind of knows everybody here. It's a very tight-knit community. The only thing that outnumbers the people here are the sheep. There are so many of them. And there are no natural predators, so they're free to just roam around and eat as much grass as they want.
When I think of the Faroe Islands, I think of it as like them with Iceland being the land of the last real Vikings. And I'm really curious to know about these people. Like, can they actually read ancient Norse? Who are these people? Who are they? I want to find out.
The Faroese people possess a distinct cultural identity and language, one that in many ways feels closer to that of the Icelanders than the Danes. In fact, it is the people here themselves who fascinate me the most. Across Scandinavia, many celebrate their Viking roots, but it is perhaps here and in Iceland where the cultural legacy of the Norse world remains the most vividly preserved. In fact, the Faroese and Icelandic languages are the closest languages to ancient Norse, and much of the vocabulary and syntax is still intact today. So I wanted to do a little experiment. I wanted to ask the Faroese people, how well can you understand an ancient Norse text? This is a passage from the Seyðabrevíð, or sheep letter, the oldest surviving written document of the Faroe Islands from the 13th century. It's basically a royal decree discussing agriculture and property rights. Let's see how well they can understand it. Okay, so Brandr, can you read ancient Norse?
Pre-Gothic but post-Runic.
So this is when the Latin script kind of starts to begin.
Yeah, it has taken hold here for about 150 years, but... Hava vettur betur I bank bíða hem til mikt.
At nu to nøst at sesser og tar loter, og landen
Og landskyld ikke låten, en han fer av hjørne. Ta skal gjøreieren eia grøye søyna.
At nu to nøst at sesser fræger loter, landen og hentaster. Og min herra hertogen.
Nu to nøst at sesser tar loter, landen og hentaster. Og min herra hertogen hever jotta oss.
Han svär av honom full ratte. Han han.
Nøst at þessir tar lútur landen og hentastir og min herra hertogen.
So from your brain, what does that mean?
My guess is that that the men who are a part of this country will now obliged to this law.
Kind of. It's about a law and a logbook and Magnus King.
If man sits on another man's land, it's and his debt is not paid.
The work that you have to do, like if you're sitting on another man's land, you
duty.
have some work. The duty is not done.
The land duty is not done. Then the landowner will own his harvest.
Yeah, it's about the law and what is good for the country, and there is something about Magnus, the king.
Like the king is allowing them to do something because it says something in the law book.
So this is a law, obviously, by Magnus, King of Norway.
Okay. Looks like they all generally kind of got the idea. Something about a law, something about sheep, something about King Magnus. Yeah, great. So there you go. Just a quick little overview of some of the most important things you should probably know before you come here.
So, you've made it to the Faroe Islands. But how do you get around this place? Let's find out. If you're going to come to the Faroe Islands, you're probably going to end up here, Folger Airport, IATA code FAE. There's about 15 or so flights a day, about 4 major airlines. You will end up here if you fly. If not, you're probably going to take a ferry, but most people fly to this airport. Also, keep in mind, if you rent a car, all the car rentals will be located in this upper dirt lot just before the roundabout, before you enter the airport. This confuses a lot of people because they usually end up going to the regular parking lot. No, it's in this
small little dirt lot to the side. Also, yes, the airport is right next to that crazy lake that looks like it's about to fall off a cliff. You've probably seen pictures of it. The airport is located on Vágar Island, and unless you want to stay on that island the entire time, you're probably going to want to get off, which means you're going to have to take the Vágar Island tunnel on the other side of the island. Completed in 2002, this tunnel is considered one of the most important tunnels in all of the Faroe Islands, as it finally connected the airport to Streymoy, which has the capital of Tórshavn. From there, the Faroe Islands has over 20 tunnels and currently 4 undersea tunnels that connect islands, including this guy right here, which has the world's first underground roundabout connecting the 2 islands of Streymoy and Eysturoy. This is known as the Jellyfish Roundabout that you can take leading to either Strendur or Runavik.
So let's say you want to get by with public transportation though. How do you get by? Well, there's one company that pretty much runs everything. It's called Strandfaraskip Landsins, probably butchered that, and the bus company is called Busleiðin. Basically, all of the buses in Tórshavn are free just in the city area. Once you want to leave the city though, you start having to pay for the buses. Now keep in mind, all of the tunnels, especially the underground tunnels, have a fare that you have to pay to take them. So if you're driving, you will be charged an extra fee to use the tunnels, just a heads up.
Keep in mind, Strandfaraskip Landsins also offers ferry services to all of the inhabited islands that are not currently connected to all the main ones via underground tunnel or bridges.
Okay, so now that you are in the Faroe Islands, what do? There's a lot of things to do here, right? Let's find out. So this right here behind me is the National Stadium. Gus actually used to play for the national team and he played here before. Faroese people are huge on their sports and music and entertainment. They're so small. They only got like 55,000 people, but they are huge on making sure that you are entertained when you come here. Today's match is Tórshavn versus Klaksvík. Huge rivals, the 2 largest cities. And right now, Tórshavn is up by 1 point. We're here in Ida, and Gus likes this place because it has the world's most amazing football pitch.
Number 1 in the world.
Unfortunately, they converted it into a camper site, and they made a new pitch, but it is beautiful.
So guys, the national sport of Faroe Islands is rowing. As you can see, you'll always see people out rowing. Like these guys, they are really tough warriors. That's the definition of Vikings. Like, this is so Faroese. Look, they're already doing competition. They're training to be Vikings.
This is the town of Norgata, okay? One thing you can do in Faroe Islands, if you're lucky, you can see the national sport rowing, okay? This is an homage to their history because back in the day, when there were no roads, no tunnels, no nothing, they would have to row to each island, and it's crazy because the waters are very choppy. Look, they're actually racing. Oh, they're racing. Yeah, people died playing this sport back in the day, and now it's a fun thing that everybody takes part in. See if you can find some rowing in Faroe Islands.
So if we're going to be honest, the biggest takeaway you're going to get activity-wise for the Faroe Islands is exploring the copious amounts of mesmerizing landscapes dotted with curiously alluring yet functional traditional architecture. Almost every town has a church, most of which are Lutheran, although there are some other denominations, as about 98% of the population identifies as Christian. And the churches have a very distinct Nordic style in the way how they are built. For example, you'll notice a lot of the churches have clocks on the towers, and the entrances are on the side, not the front. Oftentimes, churches also end up having turf roofs as well. If you ever get lost in Tórshavn, just remember, the #1 landmark, Vesturkirkjan, the Church of Vesturk. At nighttime, it looks like a big triangle shadow. If you see this, you know where to go. Are there any things that just only Faroese people know or do, or customs or mannerisms, anything just Faroese people do or know?
We get a lot of comments when people come to the Faroe Islands that we inhale when we say yes. So it's like in a conversation, you can be like, yeah! A lot of people from the Faroe Islands knit. Well, women.
Mostly women, probably, yeah.
I don't know any men that knit. But before, like in the olden times, men used to knit, but now it's just women. And when you're anywhere, you see people knit. So also in meetings or when you're anywhere, people knit.
By the way, look at this. It's so detailed. Like
it takes a lot.
You're really good at that.
Thank
Look
you.
at how do you even...
Yeah.
Dang, wow.
Yes.
rock piles or cairns that we have in the mountains. What you would usually do here is because these rock piles that we do have are thousands of years old sometimes, and you would just, every time you go by one, you pick up a rock and put it to build it up even more. Otherwise, they also just serve as directions when you're if you want to go to the next village over. Before there were roads and you could drive, you would walk through the mountains, and these would be like landmarks. If there was a little bit of fog and you couldn't see ahead, you would find these things. But if there's a lot of fog, another advice is to find a river and go to the coastline and follow the coastline instead of continuing up the mountains. The common thing to know here.
As mentioned, you're never more than 5 kilometers away from the ocean when you're in the Faroe Islands. And the crazy thing is, the cloudy overcast skies actually really work here. It's like they enhance the beauty. It's almost as if when the mist clings to those jagged emerald green cliffs, it creates the illusion of a forgotten fantasy land hidden from the rest of the world. And it only works here in the North Atlantic. Very few places look like this. It's a rare view. And speaking of which, here in the Faroe Islands, you can see one of the rarest animals on Earth.
They immediately want attention. Oh my gosh, they're just coming up to me. These are Faroese horses. They're so rare. There's less than 100 of them in the world. And Harriet raises some of them. How many do you even have here?
I have 4 mares, so we breed the mares. Yeah, I think they are the nicest breed of horses in the world. They are very social, very calm, and very child-friendly, and also that they're critically endangered. They're the native breed of the Faroe Islands. They've been here since the Vikings came here. At the moment, they can't be exported because they don't have a passport.
No.
But that's what we're trying to pressure the government into doing, to giving them a passport so that they can be exported to other countries. And that will be initially what saves the breed, is that because Faroe Islands are small, we're only 55,000 people. So we need them in other countries. Also so that the breed doesn't become as vulnerable. Because if a breed is only in one country, if a disease hits, it will hit all of them.
If anybody out there is an equestrian enthusiast and you want to help out the Faroe Islands, hit up Harriet. What do we have here?
This is Elias. He is our pet ram.
He is the most social ram in all of Faroe Islands.
He is probably also the most Instagram famous ram in the whole of Faroe Islands.
He's famous. He's famous. Like when you walk up to this place, he like looks, he stares you down. He's like, hug me. You better hug me. So Faroese horses, how many are left in the world?
93.
93.
And 89 here on the Faroe Islands. So we try to keep them alive and healthy.
Yeah.
Having a good time in the mountains and then having cold.
How'd you get it started with this?
Oh well, I've always been crazy with animals and the nature. So, as many girls, when I was younger, I had a thing for horses. And the Faroese Association was actually started in my village. And one of the founding horses was my grandfather's horse. So it's like in my family, the talk, it just became natural to have Faroese horses.
You are the luckiest girl ever. Just you got exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, I feel lucky.
This is the treasure of the Faroe Islands, basically.
It is the treasure of the Faroe Islands. It is.
To finish off, though, I recommend seeing the side of the Faroe Islands that often gets overlooked. I'm talking about the edges of the cliffs that you can only see from the water.
All right.
Let's
go on the boat.
Ready, steady?
Let's go. Oh, it's so warm. Why is it called Witch's Finger?
It was because there was a witch that wanted to throw the island of Håvard to Iceland. But before she could throw the island, the sun came up, and so she was made of stone. And this is big.
So she turned her stone.
She must have been quite big.
Faroe Islands, the cliffs, one of the sides of the islands, this is what it looks like. Look how blue the water is, caves. That's insane. Oh my god, I don't want to...
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Gus, this is your first time, right? Doing this?
First time. Very crazy.
Isn't it crazy? I never knew this was here. Oh, wow. Yeah, how do we promote you?
I have a website. I have on my website riverwork.fr.
So now that we've done quite a few things in the Faroe Islands, there's only one thing left to do. What do you eat here? Let's find out. So, food in the Faroe Islands, imagine it like this. You're an ancient Norse Viking, okay? You can't really grow a lot of food in these lands right here. It's kind of cold in the Arctic areas, so all you really have is the ocean. And then when you get food, meat, you have to preserve it. You have to ferment it. You have to survive. So that's kind of the theme with traditional food in the Faroe Islands. It's about survival. It's about fermenting. It's about preserving. Think of it that way. And then you get a meal. So, if you're gonna eat in the Faroe Islands, there's nothing more Faroese than going into a Faroese person's house and having them cook for you Faroese stuff, which includes
pilot whale.
Hold up, wait, what? What did I just say? Yes, whale. Whale hunting, or grindedrop, is indisputably the most controversial aspect of this otherwise placid country of only about 50,000 people. Now, here's the deal. The Faroe Islands is one of the few countries and areas in the world allowed to legally hunt whales according to the International Whaling Commission. The practice has been around since ancient times and has been a source of subsistence up to today. Some argue that, yes, in modern times, food can be shipped in from abroad, but due to the remoteness, prices are often still sky high, and for many Faroese people, it's more practical to depend on locally sourced meat, more specifically mutton and seafood. Which, by the way, side note, Gus's aunt makes the best mutton with brown sauce and crispy buttery potatoes. I almost had like 8 seizures eating this. It was that good. There is no way anything survived on my plate. But anyway, however, occasionally, yes, a grind hunt may happen. The hunt only includes pilot whales, which are not an endangered species, and like all other members under IWC protocol, they must document and report quantities and are allotted a certain quota annually. And it is illegal to commercially sell the meat. It can only be shared and split amongst locals. I've been to 2 other IWC policy allotted nations, Greenland and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so I understand a bit on how this practice can have a viscerally unpleasant impression on people. However, I choose not to bandwagon on the immediate lecturing rage fest, as if I've suddenly become Mr. Save the Whales, while simultaneously saying nothing about the industrialized factory farming industry that casually slaughters billions of caged animals that have never seen the light of day. At the end of the day, yes, I eat meat. I don't eat all meats, but I do eat meat. Like the majority of the world, I am not vegetarian or vegan. That's just how it is. And that's just how it is in the Faroe Islands, but it just looks a little different. That being said, here's Brander, who invited us over for whale.
This is the skin of the whale, that's the blubber, and this is the raw meat.
Now, I know a lot of people, when they say that they see this, they're like, oh my goodness, no! But what do the Faroese people have to say to people that criticize for whaling?
I think that I actually think it's a fair point to be against whaling if that's like you hold some moral convictions.
Right.
That's fine. People ask us, for example, when will you hunt the whale? We never know when we will hunt the whale because it's spontaneous. It's non-industrial. This is all for free.
You can't control when they come, right?
We can't control when they come.
It's like beef if there was a little bit of an ocean flavor to it, Very, very, very heavy meat. Can you just explain, what do we have? What do we have here?
The star of the show is probably kjøtt, which is this
wind-dried fermented lamb.
Yeah, so it takes very long to make, but it's something I think everyone loves here. This, which is here's wind-dried whale.
Whale, oh
yeah,
wow.
And potato, dried fish, and
whale blubber.
Whale blubber, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which we.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Greenland, when I went to Greenland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A bit different.
Go for it. Let's try. Oh, that's so delicious.
Not so greasy.
Wow. The potato makes a difference, It's
incredible, This is Faroese hordeposta. So in Denmark they use pork, but in Faroe Islands they use lamb, and then it's a flank steak that they roll up, and then you put it on bread, you eat it, and it's got like a smoky flavor. Oh, I love it. Faroese lamb is so good.
So good. So right now I'm in Klaksvik, the fishing capital of the Faroe Islands. I'm not even much of a fish guy, but this is some of the best fish I've ever had in my life. Cod from the Faroe Islands. You have to have it with this. This is remoulade sauce, and you just put it on and you eat it with anything. I put this on my hot dogs. The remoulade, it's so good.
Best thing about Faroe Islands, you will never go thirsty. Everywhere throughout all the islands, they have waterfalls falling down the soil and the rock. It filters out the water, clean, fresh, perfect. You can grab some. Best in the world. Besides Greenland, I think Greenland might be a little better.
Well, there you go. I tried my best to explain this enigmatic 18-island autonomously run constituent country to you guys, but at the end of the day, a country is nothing without its people. And as usual, I always like to end these things with the people and asking them just one simple question.
What is a Faroese person? When you say I am Faroese, what does that mean?
That's a very difficult question. I'm proper Faroese. My family has lived in the Faroe Islands for the past 1,000 years. But there are other people who are plenty Faroese, whose family maybe have lived here for, let's say, 500 years. Does that make me does that make me 500 years more Faroese? It doesn't make any sense. I'd say that it's the mission that the Faroe Islands are on, the development of the culture and all the struggles that the country has been through. If you partake in that, with the understanding of being a Faroese and of course always choosing the Faroe Islands.
I think we are just normal people. I think a lot of people think that, at least when I went to school in Denmark, people thought, well, are you like Vikings? Do you live in stone houses and that kind of stuff?
Very true.
Yeah. We're used to the harsh environment. We love our families. That's very important. We see our family. I see my family every day.
How they are, it's maybe a bit quiet and don't know, shy, but yeah, maybe a bit shy. But when you get learners, we're okay.
I am proud of the nature, beautiful nature. Everything is so close to you. Still practice very, very old culture like the Faroese chain dance.
It will be someone that lives and breathes the Faroe Islands life. Like this weather is really nice. It's cold, but it's enjoyable. So I'm not longing for sun and beaches.
Would you say Faroese people are like the Faroese horse? They're like...
Yes, many people say that. Yeah, calm and friendly and
few in number, but yeah, calm, friendly,
hardy. We withstand a lot of roughness. We can withstand,
Faroese person. It's a Scandinavian person, and we are very happy and polite, and I don't have much other.
And Vikings, yeah.
And Vikings, of course.
Well, I think Faroese people in general are really laid back and a bit reserved. And also, I think one thing that generally defines us is that we always come late to things. And when you come to a concert or if there's anything happening, if you're 10 minutes late, probably hasn't started yet.
I'm proud to be Faroese, but your question reminds me of a joke I heard recently that on the way to Iceland, the Faroe Islanders are the ones that got seasick. So they stopped here and just said, we're gonna stay here.
I said the guy who discovered Iceland was Faroese, not other first, yeah? So they were already well established here before they ever went on to Iceland. So that story about the seasick Icelanders staying in the Faroes is a demonstrable falsehood. I was born and raised here, and that's it. I mean, yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's a lovely area. I've lived many other places, and this beats them all by out of the park.
We're family oriented. We're local. We have Christian values. A lot of landscape. Yeah, I think so. And we believe we are a union. We are a country in ourselves.
We were in school in 8th grade or something. There was this Danish class coming to visit our school, and they had prepared this PowerPoint about Danish in Denmark. What houses do we live in? What clothes do we wear? What cars do we use? And the reason they made this presentation was because they wanted to show us here, because they were thinking we lived in caves and stuff, so they were just so not prepared.
They thought you were in caves.
Yeah, and I remember our teacher. She got so mad, showing us this is houses, this is internet. Like
They
it's
actually
crazy.
said that to
Yeah,
you?
They did.
Oh my god.
But that's a long time ago, and I don't think that would happen now.
Right.
Even though it's just like 15 years ago.
That was just 15 years ago.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have houses?
I am very proud of the islands here. It has been a tough life, you know, very small island and a very big sea. And I'm very proud to be connected to a people with a tough living in the old days, really tough living in the old days. I'm proud of that. And you will be a new human being after visiting Faroe Island.
Yeah, so I have the best of two worlds. I'm Danish and I'm Faroese, and yeah, it was a big shock for me because obviously I spent most of my time in Denmark, but a Faroese person is a good listener because you grow up in very tough surroundings, so you have to know about the weather, you have to know about the ocean, and that's a really big difference from a Danish person. And the funny thing was, I represented the Faroese national team and we had to play against Denmark. So, you know, listening to Denmark's national song while playing for Faroe Islands, that was a bit funny, but I love both countries so much and I feel more and more Faroese also the more I come up here. Yeah, just welcome to Faroe Islands.
You know, out of all my 12 years of doing this job, I've been to all the Nordic countries and constituent countries except this one. This is the final Nordic place I haven't been to. I have never seen anything like this place. I don't think any place like this exists. It's a fairy tale. It's magic. Thank you for taking me here, Gus.